Very good evening to you traders. Mark here from the day trading room. Time is around 10 past 9 in the evening London time on the last day of August, 31st of August. And just a little announcement really before I talk through some trades and bits and pieces. Tape reading trader program is now available. It's been a long time in production. Got the USB sticks ready to ship, and that's all the information you need for that is on the site daytradingroom.com, and click on the tape reading program tab. The program is about 4 hours long, a little over 4 hours long, split into two parts, and there's a download link, and I will also ship it to you via USB. So if your connection's not fantastic, it's quite a large file size, two files, quite large file sizes, so you can either download those or you'll get them in the mail via USB. So have a look at that and see if that's something that interests you. I'm technically not trading this week. I thought I'd take a few days off just to relax, refresh. We all need a bit of time out from the markets. But at the same time, I know there are opportunities here. So I've sort of allowed myself a little bit of a halfway house. Not in the room, by the way, at the moment, during the day. So, but I'll be back in on Tuesday after Labor Day. So yeah, that's just covers that room. But yeah, I've given myself basically 15 to 20 minutes trading a day. Now you may think, okay, why that figure? What I'm doing basically is, if there is data at 1:30 London time, I am watching, and I'm watching for one specific setup only, my favourite setup from data, and that's a reprice. I've talked about this before, but I'll just run through it again. Reprice to me is when I get this sort of move, surprise. I get a little bit of a pullback, get a little bit of a pause on the tape, just see the tape stalling, maybe see some institution algos sitting on that bid, and then bang. And I'm looking to buy anywhere around that stall, or as we start to push higher, and then scaling off into the push. Similarly on the downside, reprice lower, pullback, subsequent drive. So if we don't get that, we have a bit of lackluster data today. If we don't get that, then I'm looking for the open. The open is really what I'm looking for, really where I'm expecting to take the trade, because it's very, very specific, the data trade. So 1:30, nothing happens. I go away, come back at 2:30 at the open, and I'm looking. I've always got a couple of hypotheses, and today I'll just run through today as an example. I had three hypotheses. We had a really good strong gap up, we looked like, and the overnight chart, I won't bring it up because I'm on my laptop here, but you know, you look for yourself, it was just pretty much a nice solid uptrend, a few dips in between, but the key thing for me is we were opening at the high. So I've got three hypotheses for the day. Because of the situation of the overnight range, because of the gap, this is what I was looking for. First and foremost, if you can imagine this was the open, it's around the overnight high, so that's the overnight high and the open. I'm drawing this just with a touchpad on my laptop, so bear with me. Overnight high and the open, and we just drive on. I will not chase, make that clear, I'm not going to chase that, because that's how you get caught in things. So I'll gauge the strength of that. This is number one, by the way, the hypothesis number one. I'll gauge the strength of that. If I think that's really strong and the tape looks great, I'm going to look for that little pullback, that little pause, or perhaps even a flag on the tape for a further drive. I'm only looking for a 10-point scalp, 10 to 15-point scalp. That's all I'm looking for, and the risk is going to be adjusted to suit. So I'm not going to take a trade that I've got to sit through. I've got to sit through all this sort of rubbish for it to work. No, it's a quick in, out. Really shouldn't take more than a minute to work for me. Maybe two, depending if it's just sort of pausing a little bit around the level. But you know, I'm looking to get on that aggression. So that's the first idea. The second trading idea I had for the day was, imagine that we're opening again near the high as we were, a little pull down here, a pause that just holds on the tape. Now we've had this pattern before, and I think I spoke about it probably last week in the video, where you get a tape seller stepping down, steps down, he steps down, he steps down, he steps down, he steps down. bids, it's getting hit, it's getting hit, it's getting hit. Finally lifts, you rock it up, and then you get that move up. But anyway, this is the pattern I'm looking for. Let's draw this again. Should really have plugged my mouse in for this. Yeah, so there's the open. We just drift lower. We find some support, tape support, obvious on the tape, buyers stepping in, maybe a cluster of volume, and then we get that continued aggression. So that's number two. And the third one I'm looking for is this. Opens at the high and just slams lower. Okay, just catches everybody out. Everybody is already on edge at the moment with the way the market is. It just slams lower, and people are just thinking, oh, all those profits are evaporating quickly, let's get out. So again, not chasing, never chasing, waiting for that little pullback. This I may expect a deeper pullback because of the nature of the position. Position is strong overnight, position is gap up. So it's a little bit different, going to be a different shape from that, which is probably a very short pullback. This might be a deeper pullback, and it may double bottom. Anyway, getting ahead of myself. That's the sort of thing I'm looking for. But the idea is I'm looking for that push down, the pullback. Oh, that's a bit of a big pullback. Get on there. Look for that tape turn, the balance point to shift. Get some unexpected response, and then for a drive lower. Actually, we've got number two today. We got, this is probably my preferable one, to be honest with you, because it's in line. It's a long, so it's in line with the sentiment. I've got the wind behind it. It's not rocketing, so I'm not chasing it. Getting caught on a V top. So it worked out for the best. And this is what happened. It was just these three candles here. I was all done by the 4th minute, if I remember correctly. I'm going to bring in a 50 tick. Now, no particular reason. I don't trade from this at all. I trade from a 1 and a 5, or a 1 and a 3, mostly a 5 at the moment, and looking at the 60 just to get a better view, and obviously the daily at the end of the day if necessary, which I find myself looking more at the daily at the moment, the way the market is, which is a good thing. But anyway, this is just a 50 tick, just for illustration purposes, nothing more. Don't trade from it. So there's the open. Good gap up, as we know, and we just, I think we made a few ticks high, and then we started to roll over. And on the histogram, if you can imagine, this was the dome, and on TradeStation you've got that little histogram that shows you the amount of volume there. That started building down at these lows. So that's the high, that's the low. Excuse my little drawing, but hopefully you get the gist here. It just started building here at the lows. So that's the first point of the trade. Okay, we're not in free fall. So we can just scrap that idea of shorting a pullback. Okay, and obviously we're not running off, so we're definitely in trade number 2. I start to see a bit of strength coming here. Now, this is good tape strength, but it wasn't. The weakness wasn't finished, and we started to drift back lower. But. Now this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. When we're in this point here, perfect. I don't want this to shoot off. If it does, I'm going to have to chase it a little bit, but my risk is still quantified. But this is perfect because it starts to come back down. It starts to come back down to that low point there. Starts to retest and hold. It's holding, and don't forget we are at a big gap up. So if sellers consider this as value, you'd think they'd be stepping in. We're holding. Histogram was building. I'm seeing tape buyers stepping on. Fair bit of volume there. There are some sellers, granted, but the demand at the moment is matching the supply, and as soon as that supply steps off, I'm in. The supply stepped off, bang, I'm in. Important thing is my risk is quantified. It's under that low. It's not a lot. It's no real big deal. Now, of course, when the tape's running quick, you're going to get a bit of slippage. So by the time you're in, you're not far off that high, but it's okay. Risk is quantified. We've got some room to breathe. Now, this trade, I just said to myself, this is all in or all out, because I like the setup so far. It's great. I'm just looking for this one trade, and I'm just looking to get it all out. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to literally scale out into an aggressive pop. That's it. That's the premise of the trade. Simple as that. Now we lifted up and we just popped over the high here, and we just started stalling. Now I'm with the trade. I'm holding the trade, thinking, okay, this is not quite what I'm after. As long as this is holding, though, I'm happy. Okay, I want the pop. I want that pop. I don't want to be taking 4 or 5 ticks off the table. I want that 10 ticks plus from the trade, because if my trade premise is right, then it will give me that. So no need to panic out of the position. I can always, if it starts to retest around here, can always scratch it out for a 3 or 4 tick loss. I've got that little edge in. Tape looked great. It was holding for hardly any time at all. It was just sitting there. It looked fantastic. It was holding near the highs. It's just the buyers are backed off a touch, but then boom, we came in again, and as soon as we managed to break that high, it just popped straight back up. I was out scaling out into the pop. Let's bring it back to 1 minute. Don't really like looking at the 55. Yeah, it just was scaled out into that pop, and it was perfect. It worked brilliantly. Confusing myself here with these 1 minutes. It was this here basically. This was the trade. This is all I did, and that's all I did for the day. And it was a 12 ticks net. So after all the charges and spreads, commissions, what have you, it was a 12 tick trade. And it was literally buying there and selling as we came into that pop, and that was it. Done for the day. That was the premise of the trade. Looking for that aggression. Yes, I missed this, and this tick pullback would have been nice. Yes, I didn't buy this view up here. Yes, I left the screens. I didn't get involved in any of this throughout the rest of the day, and that's the way I'm playing at the moment. So, literally just looking for that opening drive, concentrating on the depth of the market, having an idea of the trade I prefer to do based on the overnight sessions, and getting a guide for sentiment, but obviously making sure that the open, is matching that sentiment, picking the trade you're going to do, and then it's just a case of watching that time and sales, watching that depth of market for those signals I need. When I get the signals and my risk is quantified and I think there's some mileage in it, tick, I take the trade, I'm in. It worked for me this time, great. 12 ticks out, done for the day. Let's enjoy the day and enjoy the rest, and I'll do the same thing tomorrow. I'll gauge the overnight range. Data, I'll check for data before that, see what happens, see if there's any reprice on that, and I'll look for the same sort of thing. I'll decide if I want to take a trade based on the overnight position. I will have a few trade ideas in my head, and then I will let price action guide me. Simple as that. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to let it go against me too far. So that's it, guys. Good trading, as I say. I'm not in the room this week. I'll be back on Tuesday after Labor Day. As always, please manage your risk. If trades don't work, ditch them, move on to the next. Doesn't matter. Don't need to hold on to it, and hope. Anyway, take care, guys. Hope you had a great day today. Hope you have a good trading for the next few days, and I should be back with another video probably next week now. Anyway, take care.